Let's see what the English press is saying, though, because there's always an interesting reaction from the British press when the draw comes out, especially, you know, Herc, you went through it in 2010.
I did.
When the Yanks are in that draw. So we see what I think we would classify as optimistic response here from the English media as far as the draw is concerned.
Is that what you're going to say, optimistic?
Yeah. As far as England is concerned, like, what do you think of the matchup? You know, because they're the team that scares you the most. In terms of who's in the group, but of the pot one teams, I think you could have done a lot worse.
You could have done a lot worse for sure. I mean, think about it. I mean, everybody in that pot one wanted Qatar. I know they're a host nation. I know more often than not, I believe South Africa is the only host nation ever to advance out of their group stage in the World Cup. But you would want Qatar.
Now the USA in '94, bro.
They advanced that?
Yeah. You said to advance. You meant not that didn't advance.
I said not advance.
Okay.
Don't correct me when I'm doing my bit here. But think about this, Seb. Think about this. Brazil.
I think on a full thought out on this show since we started. You're telling me I can't interrupt.
Brazil. You wouldn't want to face Brazil, would you?
No. Not compared to England.
Argentina, 31 unbeaten games right now. You wouldn't want to face them. There are plenty of other teams you wouldn't want to face. England's a very scary team, yes, but maybe just the arrogance that the English press has shown in the past and today, overlooking teams.
Does that filter down to the team, though?
No, I don't think this team.
Is it bulletin board material for the Americans?
Absolutely.
Then? That's where the value is, right?
Because it was when we played England in the 2010 World Cup. You can say whatever you want of that 1-1 match in the Robert Green era. You could say whatever you want, but that's in the back of your mind. That's a disrespect. That's something you're playing for. And the United States men's national team is different times than now 1950 and 2010, but they're still undefeated versus England.
We look at pot one, right? The other teams, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, France, Portugal. I think all of those you would rather see England than, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you get down to Qatar. Obviously, Qatar you'd rather have faced. You said Belgium you would have rather faced than England. But those are neck and neck, right?
Well,
so
just because
England's about as good a pot one team as you could get.
Yeah, Belgium just because they're more of an aging team, and I think they will have more of the ball. And the U.S. men's national team doesn't really do well with teams that will sit in on you. I don't think Belgium will sit in on you. I don't think they'll defend that way. They need teams to allow them, afford them that space. So just going off matchups, if fights make matchups, like if the styles make fights, and I'm going off that.
I wonder if also familiarity has something to do with matchups. We look at it right now. Premier Leaguers on the U.S. men's national team. You got Zach Steffen, Christian Pulisic, Josh Sargent, who may or may not be a Premier Leaguer when this World Cup rolls around, depending on where he goes and what happens with Norwich. But if you look at some of the other guys, right, that have been linked to the Premier League, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, plus what if Fulham goes up? You got Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson. You got like almost 10 guys at that point that play in the Premier League. I would think that would be a huge confidence boost, not just for those 10 guys, but for the rest of the American team. And that makes me think that this is a very winnable game. It's not to say that the U.S. are favorites, but that this is winnable for the Americans. Is that fair?
That's very fair. I think it's absolutely. I mean, do you expect them to win? No. But is it winnable? Yes. And I think they've shown if England plays the way they played in their group stage in the Euros, all these games are, there are some winnable games out there versus England. They were slow, they were predictable, they were pragmatic. If they play that way, they're going to have some trouble because that wasn't the England team we saw heading into the knockout stages.
Yeah. I think what England fans would tell you is that team very much grew into that tournament, was maybe kind of sandbagging through the group stage. So
where are you going to play the United States men's national team in the group stage?
Don't judge them on that.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.